6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. Electricity Board says power supply has been restored. A sample testing of the gas ship that has docked at Colombo Harbour is now being done. The President decides to establish Green Agriculture Operations Centre. Japan expresses willingness to enhance bilateral trade and economic relations with Sri Lanka. The World Health Organization says countries in Southeast Asia region should further strengthen COVID-19 response measures. Foreign news, WHO says all countries must prepare for Omicron surge. Sports, Sri Lanka wins the second test against West Indies by 164 runs. Local news in detail now. Electricity Board says power supply has been restored. It is reported that the Work to Rule campaign launched by the Electricity Board Engineers Union has been temporarily suspended. Railway Control Room said trains are operating as usual. A sample testing of the gas ship that has docked at Colombo Harbour is now being done. State Minister Lasantha Alagiwana said unloading of gas will not be allowed until the test results are received. He said there are 3,750 metric tons of gas on board the ship. Test reports are expected in 3 days. Meanwhile, it's reported that Litro is recalling gas cylinders with their agents. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has decided to establish Green Agriculture Operations Centre. This is in order to implement identified priorities, make Sri Lanka a green country systematically and sustainably. It will operate under the direction of Army Commander General Shavendra Silva. The President has instructed that this centre should give priority to many tasks, including joining of Colombo Commercial Fertiliser Company and Lanka Fertiliser Company, and operate it as National Organic Fertiliser and Distribution Company, encouraging production of solid and liquid organic fertilizer according to proper standards, providing fertilizer free of charge to farmers on time, and meeting the fertilizer requirement in the country. This operations centre should coordinate the two presidential task forces to make Sri Lanka a green economy with sustainable solutions to climate change. This centre is also entrusted with the responsibility of organising and planning National Green Economy Council, which the President has planned to be held every 2 weeks. Newly appointed Japanese ambassador to Sri Lanka, Mazukoshi Hideaki, paid a courtesy call on Foreign Minister G.L. Pires on Tuesday. The Foreign Minister warmly welcomed the new Japanese ambassador and recalled the long-standing diplomatic relations between Japan and Sri Lanka. The ambassador extended greetings from the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Japan and expressed the Japanese government's eagerness to enhance bilateral trade and economic relations with the government of Sri Lanka. Further, he said that the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Japan and Sri Lanka will be celebrated in the year 2022, and the Japanese government will organize several activities to celebrate the anniversary. The World Health Organization today said countries in Southeast Asia region should further strengthen COVID-19 response measures to curtail the spread of the virus and its variants. Regional Director WHO Southeast Asia region, Dr. Poonam Khetrapal Singh, said strengthening surveillance to rapidly detect importation of any new variant and transmission of existing virus and its variants, implementing calibrated public health and social measures, and scaling up vaccination coverage should continue to be the focus. The Prime Minister's office says Mr. Siraz Yunus has not been given any post. He is not working as a coordinating secretary to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister's office said it has no connection with his statements that he is working as a coordinating secretary to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister's office said all those are his personal statements. The Ministerial Consultative Committee on Public Services, Provincial Council and Local Government discussed the fact that although the local government bodies cannot spend money for the coming year without the passing of the budget, the Ambalangoda Urban Council has spent money without approving the budget for the year 2021. The discussion took place at Parliament Complex yesterday. It was disclosed that there is a possibility of dissolving the local government body after informing the governor of the local government commissioner as it's illegal. Members present said the situation is now happening in several other local government bodies as well. Minister Janak Bandar Tendakon said special attention will be paid to this as it sets a wrong precedent. He said responsible officials, including local government commissioners and governors, are expected to be summoned before the committee in the future to discuss issues related to local government institutions. Sri Lankan embassies in the countries where immigrant workers are recruited have been instructed to reduce the time taken to approve job orders placed by recruitment agencies. Accordingly, Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau has taken measures to perform the task in 2 hours. At present, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks. State Minister Priyanka Rajaratne said a 3-year plan will be implemented to promote foreign employment from next year. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus, the best option.
In marking the International Day of Disabled Persons 2021, the Department of Census and Statistics, DCS, together with UNFPA Sri Lanka, recently released its first ever Braille and large print publications to facilitate access for those who are visually impaired. The book titled DCS at a Glance contains a trove of information from the reasoning behind a national census and how it is conducted, to surveys and indicators from the labor force to inflation to industrial production. The document offers a glimpse into the complex and interconnected world of data and statistics gathered, edited and disseminated by Sri Lanka's largest and most important link in the national statistical system. The Supreme Court was informed today that former Gampaha District Parliamentarian Ranjan Ramnayaka is currently reading a Bachelor of Arts degree while behind bars. President's Counsel Anura Maddegoda, appearing for Ramnayaka, sought an order directing the prison authorities that adequate facilities to be arranged for him to access online studies. Maddegoda said his client is pursuing a degree program offered by the Open University of Sri Lanka. President's Counsel made this request when the second contempt of court case came before Supreme Court for inquiry. And with that, we end local news for now.
In 200 meters, turn left.
This is not just my daily commute. I drive to power my nation's future. Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus introduces specialized motor insurance for you who drive our nation forward. Choose tailor-made insurance solutions. Up to 75,000 rupees claim settlements within 3 working hours. Exclusive discounts through Motor Plus loyalty rewards. Easy and 0% interest payment plans. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Minister of Health says 412 more COVID patients were discharged from medical care today. This brings the total number of recoveries reported in the country to 541,536. Sri Lanka has recorded 565,471 of COVID patients so far. 9,536 patients are currently receiving treatment. Meanwhile, the death toll from the coronavirus outbreak in the country stands at 14,399. And that was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Ministry of Education today revised the Christmas holiday dates for all government and government-approved schools. Accordingly, schools will remain closed from the 24th of December 2021 to the 2nd of January 2022. Schools will reopen on the 3rd of January 2022. And that was Watchlight.
Be aware before you follow any vocational course. When you select a training institute, check and verify its registration and course accreditation by Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission, TVEC, without wasting your valuable time and money. Visit and meet skills development officers or career guidance practitioners. Visit www.tvec.gov.lk for more information. Message from Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Coming up, World News.
In the headlines, WHO says all countries must prepare for Omicron surge. The US tightens travel rules amid new Omicron cases. Alec Baldwin admits career could be over after fatal shooting. World news in detail now. The World Health Organization says the number of countries detecting the Omicron variant is increasing daily. WHO said its geographic distribution is already wider than currently reported and nations must prepare for potential new surges. But scientists say it's still too early to say if the variant causes more serious illness. President Joe Biden has unveiled stricter COVID-19 travel rules as the U.S. confirmed a handful of cases of the Omicron variant from the coast to coast. From next week, international travelers to the U.S., including Americans, must take a COVID test no more than 1 day before travel, regardless of vaccination status. Those recently recovered may provide proof of recovery documents instead. Mask requirements on planes, trains and buses will be extended until mid-March. Alec Baldwin has admitted his acting career may be over after the fatal shooting of cinematographer Halyana Hutchins on the set of the film Rust. It could be, the 63-year-old actor said in an interview to George Stephanopoulos of ABC News, adding that he did not care. Mr. Baldwin also said he didn't pull the trigger of the gun during the incident on the 21st of October in New Mexico. Mr. Baldwin is best known for his performances in films like Glengarry, Glen Ross and The Hunt for Red October, as well as his impersonation of Donald Trump on U.S. sketch show Saturday Night Live. Back to the headlines of the world news. WHO says all countries must prepare for Omicron surge. The U.S. tightens travel rules amid new Omicron cases. Alec Baldwin admits career could be over after fatal shooting. And that ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Sarodaya Fusion, the ICT for Development arm of Sarodaya Shramadana movement, is working with Google to bring the Be Internet Awesome program to Sri Lanka. Be Internet Awesome is Google's free program designed to teach children the fundamentals of digital citizenship and safety in a fun and engaging format so they can explore the online world with confidence. It also includes resources for educators and families. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news.
Cricket news. Sri Lanka won the second test against West Indies by 164 runs today in Galle. Sri Lanka scored 204 in their first innings and declared the second innings when they were 345 for 9 wickets. West Indies scored 253 in their first innings, 132 in their second innings. Lasith Ambuldeniya and Ramesh Mendis took 5 wickets each. Basketball news. The Memphis Grizzlies ran up an NBA record for the biggest winning margin as they beat a dispirited Oklahoma City Thunder 152-79. The rout eclipses the previous mark set in 1991 when the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Miami Heat by 68 points. Jaron Jackson Jr. helped himself to 27 points for the hosts, with another 8 Grizzlies players getting into double figures. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The new startup airline and Sri Lanka's third scheduled international operator, Fly Lankan, will be commencing operations with flights to the Maldives by the end of this month. This was revealed by Sri Lankan CEO Dr. Arusha Fernando during a special meeting held at the High Commission of the Republic of Maldives in Colombo in the presence of the Ambassador of Maldives to Sri Lanka, Omar Razak. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka Economic Summit 2021 will be inaugurated by the Chief Guest Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa on Monday under the theme Springboard for Revival, Opportunity to Reset. Governor of the Central Bank Ajit Niwad Kabra will deliver the keynote address at the inauguration of the summit. Chairman of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, Wish Govindasamy, will deliver the welcome address. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
This is the weather report.
Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the Sabaragamuwa, Central, Uva, Southern and Western provinces during the evening or at night. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Western, Uva, Central and Sabaragamuwa provinces. And that was the weather report. And before we conclude this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The Electricity Board says power supply has been restored. A sample testing of the gas ship that has docked at Colombo Harbour is now being done. The President decides to establish Green Agriculture Operations Centre. Japan expresses willingness to enhance bilateral trade and economic relations with Sri Lanka. The World Health Organization says countries in Southeast Asia region should further strengthen COVID-19 response measures. Foreign news, WHO says all countries must prepare for Omicron surge. Sports, Sri Lanka wins the second test against West Indies by 164 runs. And with that, we end this news broadcast.